Alright, yesterday over Instagram, I asked you guys if you had any questions over a boob job, and if you did, to send them in, and you guys definitely did. I got quite a few responses, so I'm going to go through and answer them right now. I'm not going to be holding up the camera the whole time. I need to give my sister back her phone, actually. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me just start by explaining why I got it done. I hated my boobs, and Okay, I'm doing a voiceover because I feel like I didn't explain this well enough. Right here, I was just explaining I wanted to be natural. I wanted to be able to say I'd never had any work done. And yeah, it just didn't come out like that at all. But then I was so insecure about my boobs, going to the pool, in general, I just hated how flat my chest was. Not even flat, but saggy. I just had the worst boobs ever. They were small too, so it wasn't even they were big and saggy. They were small and saggy, and it was just so ugly, and I hated them. And I never had really any cleavage unless I wore a bra and connected the back, with those little things to give me even more lift, and chicken cutlets, and not chicken cutlets, but that's what my sister and I call those boob things that you use to stick on and make you look like you have cleavage. See, right now I'm just chilling, and I would bring up all the time, I was I hate how flat my chest is. I didn't ever want to take my shirt off. I just didn't like my body how it was before, and I still don't even I know you should be happy with your body, but obviously I could point out a million things that I think is wrong with me, but I can't even tell you how much it has helped my confidence just having my boobs done. I'm not saying that you need a boob job to be happy, but it has definitely helped me feel better about myself, and I think that's what plastic surgery or getting any work done is there for, is as long as it makes you happy, then who freaking cares. Before, I would say I was probably an A. My actual boob itself was an A cup. My body would just do this, and now it's this. It looks so much better, and they look so natural, so that's really important when you're looking for a doctor, is to look at their work. And I had asked a couple people who they liked, girls that I liked the way their boobs looked. And so that sounds kind of crazy, but I did. And so there's this one friend, and I had asked her, and she told me, and looked at his page and all of his work, and I was yeah, I really like it, and it looks really good and natural, and it's the teardrop shape, what every girl wants in their boob job. And a lot of girls in Las Vegas do go to him. He's a really good doctor. His name is Dr. Lane Smith. He's out in Summerlin. And yeah, it was just a really good experience. It was exactly what I wanted. He was really kind, made me feel comfortable. I was even embarrassed to take my shirt off in front of him, and I was my boobs are horrendous, and he's no, they're not. Horrendous would be this, and he made a joke and had my boobs go two separate ways. It was really funny. I was cracking up. But yeah, they just make you feel good and comfortable, and that was what was important to me. I was not nervous or anxious, just not comfortable in my skin, and they just made me feel comfortable before I had even had my boobs done, which is really nice. So the whole process is I called them and I said I want to get a consultation done. The girl that picked up was really bubbly, and just makes you even more excited, because you're okay, yeah, and they're so nice, so you're really even more excited about it. And he was booked out pretty long. I called to make a reservation in early July, or a consultation in early July, probably the first week, and they didn't have one until a month later. It was August 5th was my consultation date. I got really lucky. That day of the consultation, you decide whether you want to do it or not. Maybe you can take a couple days, but that day I knew I wanted to do it, so I went ahead and booked the actual date itself. Luckily, they had an opening for the 20th, so by the time it was the 5th, and then 15 days later, I was gonna actually get my boob job. And I had got there, and I filled out all these forms and stuff. They took me back, and I was in there with the nurse. Only I could go in. I couldn't bring anybody with me because of all of COVID and everything. So the nurse came in, and she's do you know what size you want? And I was I was thinking a D. I didn't want to go really big because, I said, I don't have, I have a flat butt, and I didn't want to be super not proportionate. They let you put on a bra, and they'll put in different sizes. So I had tried a D, and I was yes, this is perfect. I'll insert a picture right now, and so you guys can see me trying it on. But I was when I saw it, I was wow, it really does make your body look so much better, just from having boobs. And so when I had put it on, I was it feels kind of big, but she's you'll get used to it. It just seems like a drastic difference, because I'm going from nothing to something. Once you're trying on the sizes and you're yeah, I like this size, the doctor ended up coming in, and he said for your body and like your height and like your weight, like this is the size that, this is like the average size for you. And so it was a D, which was the size that I tried. It was 500 cc's. I actually did a little bit less than 500. Yeah, so I did a little bit less than what he recommended. So there's like different positions you can get it in. There's medium high, and high. And so I did medium high because I knew they were gonna drop, and he explains everything like they're gonna drop at this rate. So in 3 to 5 months, like basically like done, and you have to wear the bra basically that whole time. After like 2 or 3 weeks, you can switch into a regular bra, but it can't be underwire. It has to just be like all fabric. They just like go through and you watch this whole video. It basically explains the process and whatever. I had picked for them to be medium high. I didn't want them like super high, and I didn't want them to look like super fake or anything. Like I wanted them natural. I wanted them to be like a teardrop, and I wanted like just perfect boobs, right? Like who doesn't? I have 450 cc's, and oh yeah, the incision. You can either get in the nipple, through the armpit, or underneath your boob. I didn't want to do through the armpit anyway. Like I knew I didn't want to do that. That just like sounds scary to me, especially like having stitches and stuff and like having to keep a bandage on it. Like honestly, I sweat and I wear deodorant, and I was like, I just don't know how I feel about having an incision there, but I'm sure it's fine. I just didn't want it. You can do through your nipple, but they told me that like you can lose like some like sensation in there, and I was like, no thank you. I didn't do that, and I did under the boob. I usually don't scar like really bad. I guess it just depends on the person, but I knew that. And it explains like when the boob drops and stuff, like it's just tucked under there anyway. The only time you can really see it is like when you're laying down. That doesn't bother me. I don't really care if like you can see it, and you can take care of your scar. 2 years I think is like when it kind of is like more invisible. It just doesn't bother me. I chose under the boob. I didn't want to lose feeling in my nipple. I didn't want to go through my armpits. I did silicone. I know everybody says you should do saline, but if the doctor like says they're both okay, then I'm just gonna do whatever one is the best one. It feels natural. Like they let me feel it when I was in the room. I was like, yeah, like that's what I want my boobs to feel like. If I was getting a boob job, I wanted like the best of the best. So like the person, I wanted like the silicone, like the high position, like whatever, the best of whatever I could get. Like that's what I chose. I know it can cost anywhere from like, for this doctor was like 6,000 to 7,000. I don't know, am I supposed to be saying all this? You put down deposit for the actual consultation, and then on the day of the consultation you put, if you decide you want to do it, you put down a deposit, and you just pay the rest on the actual day of your surgery. I had to turn on the light, sorry, it just got too dark. So the price, it honestly, it all just depends on what you do. Silicone is more expensive than saline. That affects like your price and everything, and obviously like if something goes wrong, like it's just, so mine was between $6,000 and $7,000, and they can set up payments or ways to like help you pay for it if you don't just pay it all up front, which I did, so I didn't have to worry about setting anything up. Before your surgery, you have to like stop taking like blood thinners, like, or things that like thin your blood and you don't know it, like ibuprofen you can't take, like certain teas you can't drink. Like, they'll give you like a whole list of everything that you should stop doing. For my girls that like to gym, you can't work out your upper body for like 6 to 8 weeks. So you can't do chest, obviously, you can't do shoulders, and you can't do back. You can do like bis and tris, I'm sure you could, but no like lifting like heavy things. And so when I had decided that I was gonna do my boob job, so for 2 weeks I only worked out like my shoulders, my back, and my chest. My tip is just to like get all your workouts in before. On my actual day of my surgery, I didn't go in until about 4 o'clock, and I didn't even have like my actual surgery until like 6:30, I want to say. You're not supposed to eat 8 hours before, so I ate once in the morning. I ate at 7:30, I think, and then I didn't eat for the rest of the day. They prescribe you 4 things and you pick it up. I believe it was like on my actual consultation day. They prescribed me an antibiotic, and you have to take that starting the day before for like a full cycle, the day before your surgery. So I got an antibiotic, I got a muscle relaxer, which deals with like anxiety and like helping your chest muscles stretch. They did an anti-nausea medicine, which you only take that first night or the first 2 days, I think. Oh, a painkiller, which you don't really need to take that much, or at least I didn't. I took it like the first 2 days, and then I just stopped taking it. And then depending on what time your surgery is, you basically can't eat for 8 hours before. All I had was a yogurt and a piece of toast and water. Oh, and they also say to drink like Gatorade and stuff. So I drank that in the morning. Before you go into your surgery, you have to buy like an antibacterial soap. Oh, they also suggest getting like a stool softener. The painkillers, I think, or the antibiotics, whatever one, it basically like makes it hard to poop. So they recommend that you, the night before, you take like one of the stool softeners. I forgot, the milk and magnesium, that's what I bought. And so I like took it the night before, and then the day of your surgery you don't eat, and then right like when they call you to come in is when you take a shower and you like wash your body with the antibacterial soap. You don't put on like lotion, not even like face moisturizer, not perfume, nothing. You can't have like your nails done, you can't have your toes done, because that's where they put on like the monitor things. And so just take it all off. You wash off in the shower, and then you like head in. Once you have your consultation, you have to go and get your blood work done. So I went to Quest Diagnostics. They go in, they take your blood. If you don't like needles, you're gonna have to like suck it up. Like when I went in for my surgery, like I was like waiting in the room by myself for like an hour. Like you're hooked up, they start you on like a drip thing. I'll insert the clip here. Okay, I'm just gonna vlog. I got a drip. We got the drip. And I'm waiting for like the doctor to be done. They take you, you walk to the room, the surgery room, and like you lay down, and the anesthesiologist was so nice. He was seriously such an angel. So when I had went into the room, you're already naked, like not like butt naked, but you have like a dress thing on, and like you lay down and he like connects you to the drip, and he was so nice. He just made me feel so comfortable. Like I wasn't even nervous like that whole day before the surgery, not even then, but like up until like I was going in the room. It was cold too, so I was like shaking when I was laying down, and I was like, can I have a blanket? Like shaking, and like she put a blanket on top, like they do anyway, but they put a blanket on top of you, but I just like could not stop shaking. I was really anxious for some reason. And then I don't really like, the only reason I remember is because afterward they had called my sister once I was done with the surgery, and like they were like, she was really emotional, and like that's when it like kind of like went back. I didn't even know he hooked me up. I just felt myself getting really like emotional. The nurse was like talking to me, and she said something, and I was like, yeah, I'm just really cold. And like for some reason I remember like looking up, I was like, is it okay if I start crying? And I just like started crying. Like I don't even know why. I wasn't even like nervous, but like that's just how I am apparently. I just didn't even know it. And she's like, yeah, like of course. Like she was like being really nice. The next thing I know, like I am waking up from surgery. This is like another funny story, is that like after I was waking up from surgery, it's only like a 45-minute thing. Hopefully like nothing goes wrong. If I woke up, I think it was like 7:30 is when I woke up, like really woke up. I'm like laying on the bed. I wake up and I'm like going like this, and I try to like scoot up, and I'm like kind of like held down, but like I thought it was just because of my boob job that I was just like not really able to move. And the nurse comes in, she's like, okay, like since you're up, you know, like your sister's here or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. And like I go to get up, and I'm like strapped in, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, you're a feisty one or something like that. And I was like, wait, what? And like I had like a strap across my chest, I had a strap across my arms. I don't even know, but apparently I was like not like fighting them. I was like trying to get up, and I was like doing this, like trying to like rip my arms. Apparently I just like was not listening, and I was being feisty apparently, which I can see, but like I don't know why I would do that. Like I have no idea what my problem was. I felt horrible. I'll insert the clip.
I'm giving you back your MMA fighter.
Oh, MMA fighter, what happened? What?
She won in the match against 3 of us. That's okay.
I feel horrible.
No, don't feel bad.
Wait, oh, you can stand up and walk? What
Yeah,
the heck?
she's doing great.
Okay, that's good.
Again, I'm so sorry.
No, don't
That's
be sorry,
like
girl. Once you get out of the ring, you're fine.
Okay.
Like,
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
Story time.
Yeah, seriously, story time.
She-
I don't even remember. She told
she
me
doesn't remember, but
I don't. She's
tell
like,
us what happened.
she's like, you're feisty. I was like, what?
What? A lot of built up
Well,
anger.
You know, when she was starting to wake up, she was trying to roll over on her stomach over and over, and then she was trying to fall off the table. And
I woke up, I was
she's
like,
very, very strong.
She is strong.
And she was just holding it like this.
so sorry. Oh my god.
We had to put a, like the little seatbelt on her to
Yeah,
strap her
that's
in.
so fine. Yeah,
So that
I'm
she wouldn't roll off.
Yeah.
I forgot about it because when I was getting her down, I'm like, oh yeah, you're strapped
Yeah.
because you're trying to crawl out.
I know.
Oh
I
my
woke up,
gosh.
Okay, well, thank you
Yeah.
very much. Yeah,
That's
I
so
appreciate
funny.
it.
With them, they look so
I seriously felt so bad. I can't believe I did that. Like, why was I acting like that? I don't know. That's just like what happened when I woke up from the anesthesia. I was very emotional. I'm like crying. I'm pissed. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. Don't ask me. I don't know. My sister came and picked me up and drove home. I guess my worry before was that like it's gonna feel so heavy. I get pretty claustrophobic. If I feel these things sitting on my chest, I'm gonna hate it. That was like my only fear about it, was like feeling really like compressed, like something was heavy on my chest. Like I knew I wouldn't like that. Afterward, your chest does like just feel so tight. As far as pain, I have a really high pain tolerance. I'm not gonna lie. Like it just, I don't know, that's just like I was born like that. And I didn't feel pain so much because I'm sure I still had the anesthesia like going, and I just felt like uncomfortable and tight. Like my chest felt so tight. Like I felt like I had done like 1,000 like bench press things and like push-ups. Like it just felt so tight. Basically I had got picked up at like 8 o'clock. They tell you to like stagger. You're not supposed to take your muscle relaxer and your painkiller at the same time. So I think I had taken the muscle relaxer first because I didn't feel pain. I took the muscle relaxer, and then I think it's like a 4-hour gap you have to wait. So 4 hours after that is when I could feel the medicine wearing off, but it wasn't painful. It was just like uncomfortable. Honestly, like I'm probably not the best person, but it just wasn't painful for me. It was just uncomfortable and tight, and that wore off like within 3 days. Not even 3 days, probably like 2 days. The next day, like they say you should take it easy, which I did. But like I went to the park, like I sat down while I was at the park, but I went to the park, I was walking around the house, and like the night of your surgery, so you don't get like blood clots and stuff, like you're supposed to walk around every 2 hours, and then the next day you walk around every 4 hours, so you can't just be like laying down the whole entire time. Honestly, I wasn't really affected. I was like walking around, not like all day, but like I don't want to say all day because it's bad. I know I'm not supposed to, but I was pretty much up and at it like the next day. It didn't stop me from doing anything. I was definitely like taking breaks, like if I felt tired. In terms of recovery, 3 to 5 days to go back to work. It's 3 weeks until you can do like cardio or like those like dancing, like Zumba classes. I don't really do those anyway, but running, like I should start running. Yeah, then you wait 6 to 8 weeks for like upper body workouts and like heavy lifting, and 3 to 5 months until your boobs are like dropped and like set in place. So you have your surgery, and then you go for your checkup for like 24 hours after, basically the next day, and they tell you the stuff you're supposed to do, you're not supposed to do, and they like look at the incisions, they take like the gauze off, and you can't shower. So I just did like every day I took like a washcloth, I would put like some soap on it, and I would just like wipe my body everywhere except for my boobs. Like I would do the top, but I didn't touch my incisions. Like I just like sponge bathed it out for like whole entire week, and then you have another checkup a week after, and then that's when you can start doing like light showers. So you can just like get in the shower, but you make sure like your stitches are dry, like you really are just kind of stepping in and like stepping out. At least that's what I did. I just did a quick like body wash and that's it, but it was like nice to like feel like the water running down on me. After you go in for your 4-week appointment, and then you go in for like your 3 to 5 months. So your first day, your 1 week, maybe it's 4 to 6 weeks, just depends, and then you have like your 3 to 5 month checkup. My tips is just to like buy peas. Like you only need it for like the first 2 days I think after your surgery, and that's it. And I would just buy 4 bags of peas, so 2 to like have on your boobs. You could always have 1 frozen and like ready to go. Also to just work out your upper body a lot until your surgery, because you're not going to be able to for a really long time afterwards. For my moms out there, the thing is like you can't lift like heavy weights. I would just have somebody there with you for a while, and like if you have babies with you or like toddlers, like they are heavy. It's not painful, but it's just not good to be like lifting stuff like after surgery in general. Also, a week after surgery, they start giving you like bacitracin to put underneath your or like on top of your stitches, which the first time I did it, I was like, ugh, like I don't even want to like touch the stitches, and now it's not bad at all. Like they're healing really, really nicely. I guess to like sum everything up is like you go to a consultation, you get your blood work, you have your actual day of the surgery, you have your 24-hour checkup, week checkup. Oh my gosh, that looks bomb.
Doesn't that look cute?
My sister baked a cake, you guys. Show her. I'm like, it's
Voila.
for me. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it looks so bomb.
Really?
Can we eat it now?
I need to take pictures of it still.
Okay, I want a piece. Yeah, it looks freaking bomb. A week after your surgery is when they're like, okay, you need to start doing these massages on your boobs. And like, it was pretty uncomfortable. Like, he grabbed my boob, you literally grab your boob and you hold the implant and you move it in circles. And you do that. I'm still doing that every day for like a minute each side. But when he first did it, I was like, huh! Like it does feel really scary, but then it gets really used to it, and it like helps the implant drop. They'll show you in the video that you have to watch at the consultation, like this is like what they're gonna look like the first day like you have them, the first week, like the first however long, like they're high and they're kind of pointy, and like they just don't look anything like how they're gonna look 3 to 5 months. So you just have to be patient and like trust the doctor, like it's gonna be okay. They're not supposed to look perfect right at the beginning. If your boobs are like perfectly dropped and they're in the spot and you're like, wow, like they look so good right off the bat, like they're just gonna keep dropping, so you just don't want them that low to begin with. It goes from like looking kind of bad to like looking really good, and if they're looking really good and they keep going like bad, you know what I mean, they're just gonna keep dropping. Yeah, so they explain it, and it's okay if they don't look like other girls' boobs like right at the beginning, like they're not supposed to. It didn't look as bad as it did in the video, and like my boobs, like I love them, like I seriously do love them. Like I feel so much better with them. Like clothes just fit so much better, dresses, like certain shirts, just they do feel and look so much better than before. I think that's basically it. Just to like wrap everything up, we do like the consultation. They'll tell you what size like would look best, but like obviously it's whatever you want, and they'll tell you like they'll let you try the different sizes. You call up the appointment, you do the deposit, then you have the actual consultation, then you do like the real deposit for the actual, it was like $1,000, and then you pay the rest on the actual surgery day. And then so when the surgery day comes, you have the surgery, you make sure you're like walking around every 2 hours. The second day it's every 4 hours. You have your 24-hour checkup, and then you go in like a week or 2 weeks after, and you go in 4 to 6 weeks, and then you go in at 3 to 5 weeks again, or 3 to 5 months. I haven't even had that appointment, but I'm already like loving how they looked, or loving like how they look. And like tips, just having family. My cousin said like it was like hard for her to even like pull up her pants. I didn't even wear pants, like I didn't even bother. I just wore like sweats, not even leggings, because like Lulus can be like kind of hard to pull up. So I just wore like baggy, like comfy shorts, like comfy clothes, like stuff that's like easy to put on. After your surgery you can't like lift your arms up, so I just like had things that were easy to like throw on and like button up, like flannels and stuff. Best decision I've ever made. I love them, makes me really happy. Recovery was not bad. Everything was perfect, and I love them, and I can't recommend Dr. Smith enough. I think everything's perfect. I don't have a single complaint. If you guys do decide to get your boobs done, I hope you guys like them. Make sure you like the doctor, you trust their work, you've seen pictures, they're like certified and they're like good at what they do. Make sure you're comfortable with them and like the staff. Make sure you're like happy with the people you're seeing and you're comfortable. That's all I really have to say, unless I can think of anything more to add before I edit it. I'll just kind of like throw it in there. But yeah, you guys, I love them and I'm really happy. So bye.